More on the Korea talks held Wednesday as Raymond Tanter. He served on the White House National Security Council staff in the Reagan-Bush administration. He's a visiting professor at Georgetown University. I want to welcome you to the broadcast. A surprise meeting, first in 7 years, 12 hours of talks. What do we read into all of this?
Well, we read the fact that North Korea believes that it can get more trade concessions, foreign investment, and humanitarian assistance if it raises tensions and then lowers the tensions. It's like an arsonist who says, I can help put out this fire. Well, how do you know? Because I set the fire. That's why.
So if this is the pattern, which many people believe it is, what's the next step? The lighting of the fire? I mean, do we see more incendiary talk down the road a piece, or? Well,
during the Clinton administration, they put together a package of concessions to the North in order to calm the North down. You have to break that particular cycle. And what happens is that North Korea is not like another authoritarian state, Iran. Iran has a domestic political opposition. There are elites fighting one another. There's something called the National Council of Resistance of Iran that's external and internal. So you have to take into account these other elites. Well, in North Korea, the only other challenge to the Kim dynasty is the military. And one of the reasons why Kim Jong-un executed his uncle is because he was a family member with close ties to the military.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about the military, but I want to talk a little bit more about the nuclear program right now, because this has been a tension that kind of ebbs and flows as well. How much of that is playing into all of this as well, would you say?
Well, North Korea's nuclear program is based upon plutonium extraction primarily, and now they're getting from Iran, by the way, some technologies with respect to uranium enrichment. So their program is one of the most advanced programs in the less developed world, so to speak. And the South says, look, we're not, until you make concessions on the nuclear side, we're not going to come up with humanitarian assistance. But I'm afraid that Japan and the United States and others, China perhaps, might be pushing the South to make the concessions early rather than late, Mike.
You brought up the uncle's death, the execution. Now that we move into the third year of his leadership, has he solidified power? Are we going to see, or will we still see some erratic behavior? What do you see from Kim Jong-un?
Well, if you have to execute your uncle, that doesn't look like you have firm control over the country. Secondly, the military has been a little standoffish with respect to Kim Jong-un. And Kim Jong-un is close to a basketball player, probably more than some of his military people. So I see that the young man has not come into his own yet, and he has a lot of learning, and we all have to go very slowly, and I think we should take the lead from South Korea.
What about six-party talks? Do you see those rekindled at any time in the near future?
I don't see that the six-party talks play a role at this point, and I think that we take the lead from Seoul. Seoul has the soul here.
All right, Raymond Tanter, well put. Thanks so much. Certainly enjoyed your comments here this evening.